What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video on the channel. My name is Jalza from Jalza FC, and these are the best Premier League players of FIFA 21. We'll go through goalkeepers, left backs, center backs, defensive midfielders, central midfielders, cams, left wing, right wing, and strikers. But before we get into the video, 98% of you guys are not subscribed, so it'll do the wall. It'll do me a favor if you could smash the subscribe button, smash it, like it, comment, whatever you guys. It supports the channel a lot. And without further ado, let's get into it. And make sure to just drop a like on this video and comment what you guys would like next. For goalkeepers, Schmeichel beats Patricio for me with that 89 base reflexes. Guys use glove. Glove is an insane chem boost that boosts diving, handling, and positioning, because you're not really touching reflexes with any of the chem styles, so that is the key chemistry boost to go with. Patricio, if you consider though, has like a comes for crosses kind of trait, you know, and it has great diving and positioning, so there's no correct answer really between him and Schmeichel. Burn, Leno, and De Gea, I actually didn't think Flappy Hands had such a big downgrade, so for the price, Leno of course, but De Gea's saves the feet trade is worth a look, you know, considering that he doesn't come at the insane price that he used to come in previous iterations of FIFA. Now if you compare De Gea to Loris though, De Gea is not far away, has 3-star weak foot, and much better distribution with his feet. But Loris is more commanding as a sweeper keeper though, and will come for crosses. Ederson and Lloris for me is the real test, you know. Ederson's kicking is already so high, so you put a glove on him and he'll be miles better than Loris in my opinion. You know, 96 diving, 97 handling, and the same comes for crosses and rushes out of goal traits. What's stopping you really from choosing him? I think Ederson with a glove is really something as well. 85 base kicking is already okay, but that chem boost means 99 handling and 96 diving and positioning. You can't go wrong with him. Sensational. I've seen users kind of complain about his passiveness when it comes to crosses, so watch out though. Fullbacks, it's about stamina, high work rates, 88 plus pace at least with shadow, maybe 90 pace, good dribbling to open up space beyond the flanks, and more centrally when you play them as like inverted wing backs. So going on from there, Regulon has like 2-star skills, but you know, if he fights Dinia, I think actually Regulon makes more sense. I wish he was still at Madrid, so I don't have to contend with Marcelo's stamina. Dinia is a very interesting card too. 87 crossing and 81 shot passing, is very good with a shadow defensively, and is very talented across the board, kind of a holistic fullback. Chilwell in form looks pretty okay with a shadow. High is always the best work rate for a fullback, so I don't think he's much better than Dinia though. But he has the better work rate. Alex Telles and Robertson, they both look really tasty with a shadow. There's no denying it there. Both have high work rates, 2-star, 3-star, and can pass brilliantly for fullbacks. Alex is 87 shot passing, so if you want to switch up the flanks, well, really tough one to pick. So my advice would be to pick the one that fits your team more. If you're playing Prem Hybrid, Telles is the better links to other Brazilians, but Robertson is a strong link to Van Dijk and Sadio Mane. Telles OTW, I have a feeling he'll actually perform well in Man United setup. Would be worth a good investment. Hope this comment doesn't age too badly. Fullbacks, yeah, so other key points, looking at the right backs, just stamina, crossing. We go on to right backs. Bellerin, he's cheap, reliable, with a shadow or anchor. He looks fine. Could do with a little stamina upgrade. He covers the basics. Cancelo, a step above from Bellerin with passing, dribbling, and physicality. You know, that 90 stamina is so crucial. You can't understate that enough. While his 4-star skills as a right back is just darn useful at opening up tight spaces. Ricardo Pereira, I guess you could kind of put a shadow on him. You would have 91 receptions, which is so key. So we'll snap up the odd run here and there. AWB, Trent, and Nelson Semedo. I never really liked Trent that much. as a fullback because of his lower agility and balance. I feel like you have to turn well in the fullback position, or maybe in every other position then. But that's the worst of him. I like him as a CDM. I loved his team of the season last year. For value, when you position switch him in game, because of his phenomenal passing that is kind of reflected in his base right back card today. If you use your right back to constantly whoop in crosses to giant physical strikers like Harry Kane, that could be a possibility to play Trent with his 93 crossing and 89 long passing. But beyond that, we'll kind of rate him third right here. I'll tell you why. Wan-Bissaka is just so responsible with his medium-high work rates. He feels composed on the ball, very good in the dribble, has 88 defense and 90 plus tackling with an anchor. But his greatest weakness is probably the passing, which is no biggie if you have him covering back anyways. You know, his shot passing is okay, should be able to pass to wingers and, you know, central midfielders. Semedo is the most meta one here. Always has been. I can't believe Wolves managed to even upgrade on their right wing back option on Doherty. Nelson's amazing dribbling stats, 4-star skills with an anchor, or Sentinel is the most promising on that card. You can dribble very well. You can't stay in your team until January or even February and beyond, you know. Semedo's my pick, as FIFA is an unforgiving game. And if you're really serious, there are some non-negotiables really, like having a great fullback just like Nelson Semedo. Nelson wants to watch. I think Wolves will do well this season. Only issue is that Semedo is playing a right wing back role, which is more attacking. I'm not sure if his strengths really complement that, but if Nuno can get Doherty scoring, things are definitely looking up. Kyle Walker, an icon level right back at the moment. Looking here, the reason he gets away where Trent doesn't in agility is in his physicality. So he's a no-nonsense defender that can probably catch up to anybody with his 97 pace of anchor and snuff them out with his 89 strength. So good that I actually recommend him at center back as well. If you can find a fast center back to put in the right back position, maybe like Mukele or something. But you know, in this Premier League, Ake possibly, but Ake's a left-footed center back. So for center backs, yeah. You need at least pace, strength, and defense, nothing more. 6'1" height and above is quite important, you know, so that your opponent's goalkeeper doesn't get a free long throw to your opponent's striker. I mean, Rudiger's shadow is kind of okay. You know, basic starter. Ederson Sanchez is a more meta starter. Ake wants to watch. In all honesty, I don't see his center back getting that many upgrades. And even then, they're playing him at left center back or left back position, I guess. So I don't honestly think he's worth the hype. A 79 pace Ake left back doesn't really inspire confidence in me. His normal version versus Sanchez, I don't know, man. His normal version of Sanchez, though, he's a clear winner on value. Joe Gomez, the eyes are on him to set up, you know, because with Virgil van Dijk's injury, you know, with a shadow only, I think the trade-off of strength and jumping shouldn't be that bad, but I can see him dating a bit in a few months. Joe Gomez, you know, of course the spotlight's on him because of Van Dijk's injury. Kyle Walker's center back inform, I told you just now, you know, his inform, it's a big upgrade on Joe Gomez. With dribbling, you place a sentinel and he'll still look Gucci. Van Dijk with a shadow, he bullies everybody every year. We may not see a promo card for some time with this injury, however, so, you know, goal Van Dijk, give him a shot. Laporte, Rulebreaker, I love him with the pace upgrade. I don't even think his team of the season in FIFA 19 had that pace, so a cool one to watch. He's a great ball-playing defender that would complement the shit out of Virgil van Dijk. And so my picks will be Davinson, Gomez, and actually Walker, because, you know, Walker, man, at center back, the FIFA meta. Going on to central defensive midfielders, Torreira, budget Kante, but there's an allure about him, you know, clean tackle, high agility, balanced combo. It doesn't do well with headers though, and DD's clunkier, but a starter no-nonsense center mid. No-nonsense DM, I mean. I'm going to go ahead with Fred for mid-tier, because I think he works best in the game with responsiveness. Fabinho and Henderson are probably okay as a lone DM in a 4-3-3. I just think Fred is so much more robust with his dribbling ability. The really you know, it's really different preferences, but I think he works better with another player like Fabinho side by side in a 4-2-3-1. Kante, I'm struggling to get the best out of him in my team. I don't know why. I find that he lacks a bit of presence up front in the physical department. However, his recovery is world class. Probably the cleanest tackles out of all the goal cards today, as he can just dribble on beautifully once he gets a tackle. I think my system just probably doesn't do well with, you know, CMs and CDMs. I think for me, I really need some finishing ability. I really rely on late runs, on a 4-1-2-1-2 for everyone to just show up and score unpredictable wise. In that system, Kante just really stays back. So I think he does better at a 4-2-3-1, like a sniper defender. Just comes at you without when you're least expecting it. In a 4-2-3-1 with a more attacking center mid next to him. Don't get me wrong, he's great. I just like my box to box to have a little bit of everything. You know, I thought of 100 on Kante even, but that's just a stupid idea. It's a waste. But maybe he'll grow on me with a shadow. He looks to be quite the part. So we're gonna go with Torreira, Fred, and Kante for center mids. Van de Beek with a shadow seems underwhelming for his passing. Partey had a lot of good things about him. He's very industrious, imposing, can actually shoot too with a shadow. Kind of like a budget baby Vieira, has poor balance but isn't at all a coquelan. You know, he can play football. Sissoko always going to be at that price as he's a meta DM, but he should fall on later. Has really bad finishing, so I'll implore you to put him on stay back. Beyond that, he's just a monster, just pushes people around, you know, bullies them, you know. There's a reason why his promo cards even do super well too later on in the day. Alan versus Wijnaldum, interesting battle. Alan wins on defense, but on everything else, GG beats him comfortably. You know, even with his 4-star, I go White all day with Shadow, because my philosophy is, you know, CMs need to do everything really. Alan's a little bit more defensive, so he could do well in the DM role as well. Alan wants to watch. Looking at the way Everton play, I'd say if he gets no injuries, this is a great buy. You know, can see many informs, but I don't know if they give that many informs to the midfielders in the Prem. Partey wants to watch. Looking at his recent performances for Arsenal and Ghana, I'd say same as well. The guy is really on form recently, and his profile matches the Premier League well. I don't think he'll take that much time to adapt like Nicolas Pepe. You see, Partey's a very, very strong midfielder who can dribble well, can pass well. He just does all the basics at a very good, almost bordering on the world-class level. So I could see him get a few more informs. Pogba is a great player. I sold him before the market crash. I think I love him because he does a lot of everything. You know, only problem is the clunkiness, but I think doesn't really fail you. Not the most defensive shadow, CM with a shadow. So you know, that's mandatory. I mean, it's not the most defensive center mid, so a shadow will have to do for him. Long legs are key at interceptions, and I think this year, even so, he's more value with the price. If you have the money, take him. Moving on from there, cams. Dele Alli actually looks kind of good as a CM more than a cam. With his defense, as I'll say, if you can get him in Hunter, it's worth a shot. Hakim Ziyech, stay away. It's a 2-star weak foot. His moments card last year, I really didn't get along with, even though his stats were just so much higher than anyone at the time. Dude, let's be real. Your cam is going to be floating around the box and have many opportunities. So shooting on a 2-star weak foot is just going to be disastrous. And I don't think doing that many elasticos of a hunter will quell the problem as well. Kai Havertz. Okay, let's go to Hakim Ziyech ODW first. I wouldn't use a 4-star I wouldn't use the 4th informed version of him unless I was doing a Moroccan objective. No. Kai versus Bruno, 4-star. It's Hunter time for both of them. Havertz more the second striker. Bruno more of the playmaker center mid with vision for the whole pitch. Has good defense for a CM, so you can play him there too. You could put Deadeye on him, on Kai, since he already has pace. But I gotta go Bruno on this. Kevin De Bruyne, though kind of big and a little bit clunky, is always a phenomenal asset to your team with that 5-star weak foot in the position that needs it the most. You know, he can sort of defend as well, can pass his good work rates, you know, can find other players like nobody's business, can shoot for days as well. I'd recommend him as an attacking CM in a 4-4-2. That would be marvelous. Bruno in form versus goal KDB. Still KDB, 5-star week foot is amazing. Kai wants to watch. I wouldn't bet my money on him. I think Chelsea are still in the transitional period. But who knows, Frank, could always string a great run of results. So if that isn't a sure thing, I could see Havertz getting some upgrades as well. Left wings, Zaha and Alan St. Maximin. I think Wilfred is more value for the price. It's the battle of the dead eyes here. I'm still leaning Zaha, but ASM's 4-star weak foot, higher agility and balance are interesting. If you're a starter, I'd only go for ASM once the hype price settles down. Sterling, Son, no competition really. Son, you gotta put on striker in the 4-1-2-1-2 as well. With a Hunter, he looks unbelievable there. 96 finishing with a 5-star week foot. Start of the game is kind of an insane stat if you look at it in that way. I really like Sterling in real life, but never felt that his stats translated well to FIFA. If you want a more nimble all-out winger though, a hawk on him could suffice. Rashford, not far in price though from Son. Could play at striker too, but I think his 5-star skills more than make up the difference in space creations. But beyond that, Marcus has had such a year. Footballer of the year for me for what he's done off the pitch with childhood poverty. Anyways, on FIFA, he's also a beast. Moving on from there, ASM in form. This is where things get a little bit tasty. 88 positioning and 80 finishing is the worst of it. St. Maximin is a player that can dribble almost like Neymar, man. This guy dribbles like butter. His foot birthday last season is one of my favorite cuts of FIFA ever. Unbelievable. With a dead eye, could play Chem as well. A mouth-watering card with that pace, dribbling, and finishing of Chem style. Mane is the gold standard for wingers. He doesn't have the 5-star weak foot, like 5-star skills, like the previous two, Rashford and St. Maximin. But with Hawk, his combination of strength, aggression, strength, aggression, and agility is disgusting. Swooping a lob cross to the far post, he can outmuscle and hit it in. One explode with an inverted run into the box, this guy can handle it, has max pace, and can finish 9 times out of 10 as well. I've been saying it for years really. I don't think it's Van Dijk. I don't think it's Salah, who's Liverpool's most important player. I think it's the hard-working Mane who really leads the team by example, by pressing, by just being quality in the attacking sense. Promo card with 5-star recruit this year, please EA for Mane. Bernardo Silva, one of my favorite living players today. Can dribble like Messi but lacks that burst of acceleration. I think he really needs solid game time now though to impress his will as an inside forward, cam or winger. Doesn't really finish that well for me, but I more than like his stats spread across with a Hunter. Adama, I'd still pick Bernardo at this point. A bit surprised that they didn't give Traore more finishing and passing, as he's been a very productive winger. If you know how to use Adama on strictly the flanks, with fake shot boosts, this guy's a handful there. Riyad Mahrez, always liked him as a cam more. Has 5-star, 4-star, but slightly worse stats than Bernardo. My main problem here is that he's always, had the medium work rates. I think high attacking rates is so important for a winger. He might be upgraded though this season if Bernardo keeps playing in midfield and Mahrez there and they keep a constant run, especially Sané's not here now and Sterling's just going to be on the left wing. Bale and Lucas with Hunters. Even though Mora is not that good passing wise, I prefer him so much more. Agile dribbling is so good with him, and his finishing with 4-star is a notch up. Bale's dribbling isn't very convincing to me and fluid. Bale wants to watch. I think he'll get upgrades this season, even though Spurs do bottle leads. Their attack has been mesmerizing under Mourinho, with Son and Kane beside with a counter attack. I can see great things for Spurs this season, even though I'm an Arsenal fan. Salah almost identical to Mane, but it's a 3-star weak foot. Almost really just the same stats. Just Salah's a little bit better dribbling wise. But the 3-star weak foot I think is a little slight issue. Of course he's the best if you have the coins for striker. Finally, Rodrigo, he's better value than Jesus at this point in time, that's why I put him here. Though the latter has better stamina, it's a little bit of error there. Rodrigo's a cheaper price. Though the latter, Gabriel Jesus has better stamina. You slap a finisher on Rodrigo, He'll do wonders. Vardy, not so good on the ball, but more clinical. Aguero, I love him with Hunter. I think he's so underrated in the game even. Dribbles smoothly, can pass, 4-star, 4-star. What more do you want? He's a complete striker in every sense of the word. Still amazing at that position. Martial versus Firmino in form. If I'm being real, it's Bobby. Because 4-star, 4-star. Because 4-star is so necessary for strikers. That 4-star weak foot. And yeah, you know, he has 89 stamina too, and the 5-star skill moves too. You know, better hitting accuracy, much better dribbling than Martial, much better shot passing, with your only caveat being the pace, which is also very important. I think a lot more people use him as a second striker though, you know, but if I'm being really honest, I'd go with Firmino, whether it's striker or cam. Werner versus Alba, very same price category. I'm an Arsenal fan, but I have to go with Timo for this. For efficiency, you know, his agility and balance are steps above Alba, though Alba has the 4-star skills and better passing and attack positioning. I just don't do super well with like taller, bigger strikers. Alba's, you know, but again, we have to give it to Alba for his positioning. I think he's one of the best strikers of the Premier League decade, if I'm being honest with you. Alba's intelligence and knowing where to stand in the box might be top 2 or even the greatest in this decade for Premier League. You know, his positioning is incredible. Rashford in form, not a giant upgrade on his goal card, though the position change is very nice. Never realized that he also, you know, he also has I don't know, man. Werner wants to watch, even though I kind of see Kai Havertz is not getting that many informs. I think I track back on their opinion. I think Havertz and Werner will get some informs this season, because even though Chelsea do bottle leads, they still attack with some sense of flow. And as long as your attack is going on okay, I think you should get a few informs, you know, and I think they should score a lot of goals and perform well. It's just the defense for me in the midfield combination. You don't have to win games to perform well. So Harry Kane Rulebreakers. Finally, my guy is usable. Not the most mobile, but I think he's one of the most complete strikers right now. 88 base passing, great hitting and physical, decent dribbling, 94 composure. Kane's been one of the most intelligent attacking players of the decade, and finally we get a card that's usable. And wow, we've made it. You know, you've made it, I've made it. Thanks for sticking around, and we'll hit back to the squad builders. Yeah, we're gonna go to cheap squad builders. So we have Aguero, Silva, Zaha. Cool, dude. It's about 150k. Ali, Partey, and Van de Beek here, with Virgil, RK, Rudiger, Hector Bellerin, Schmeichel. If it's a little bit too expensive, you can swap Aguero with Rodrigo or something. Moving on from there, we have a little bit more expensive with 788k, actually kind of a big jump. Son, Werner, Lucas. Again, Son you can change to Zaha or something. Werner you can change to Aguero or someone cheaper. And Havertz, Partey, and Fred. A good combination of attack, balance, and defense. You have your fullback Dunya here, Cancelo, Sanchez, Gomez, De Gea. Gomez you can change to someone else that's cheaper, I guess. Moving on from there, we have expensive with Werner, Rashford, Bale, but still rational. 2 million coins. Premier League is just that expensive. Partey, ODW, Wijnaldum, De Bruyne, Tejas, Walker, Van Dijk, Semedo, Ederson. If I had a Premier League squad, if I had all the coins just for a Premier League squad, I'll go with this. And if you're really feeling frisky, Kane, Mane, Salah, De Bruyne, Kante, Pogba, Tejas, Laporte, Walker, Semedo, Ederson. This is the best possible squad for me in my opinion. If not, you could also put OTW Werner there, I guess. You know, that should be okay. And we are kind of done. You know, we are finished. Thanks so much for sticking with us. Thanks so much for sticking with me through all the five Premier League, Ligue, Serie A, Bundesliga, and La Liga videos, all the 5 guides. It's been quite a lot of work to put all of them together, so it really means the world if you can subscribe. You watch these videos anyways. 98% of you guys don't subscribe, and so you might as well, guys. So, and cool. Yeah, we'll see you in the next one, and tell me, leave in the comments below what kind of video you would like next. I'm open to exploring a lot more content other than like more informational stuff than this, you know. So yeah, thanks for sticking around, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.